Every morning the world starts quietly, one soft light at a time. Homes flicker awake, shops open. People take those first small steps into a brand new day. And in all of that ordinary movement, there's something kind of extraordinary. A moment worth noticing, a spark you feel before you even name it. Sometimes it's quiet, sometimes it's small, but kindness shows up right on time. And every morning we choose to show up with you so we can look for that spark together.
Good morning. I'm Matt Roof, the Uncommon Kindness Guy, and this is Kindness Rising. Let's rise together.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Kindness Rising. Getting after it after another amazing weekend. We'll talk about that, but I got a quick question for you this morning. Have you ever been in a situation where somebody was just making up the rules as they went? Maybe it was your boss, maybe it was a family member or somebody in power who kept moving the goalposts. And you're like, wait, that's not fair. That's not how this works. Well, today we're talking about the document that was born of that exact same feeling. 811 years ago, a group of people got tired of being pushed around by someone who thought the rules didn't apply to them. So today on Kindness Rising, accountability, power, and what happens when ordinary people finally say enough. Oh, and don't forget, we're going to talk about a hip-hop legend born today. And the story connects in a way that people probably didn't see coming. So stick around for that one. Let's rise above the noise today. What's up, everybody? I see the chat lighting up as we do. Adam Holroyd's rocking it. Starting a new loop today, absolutely, after a good weekend. I had a good weekend. I don't know about you guys. I'm trying to get my tunes here. 2 major professional championships handed out. I'm up here in New York, upstate New York. We're not quite as crazy as they were in the city over the weekend, but there's a lot of joy in Knicks land. Last night's game, the Carolina Hurricanes clinched the Stanley Cup championship. That was exciting, a good one to watch. And then there were some fights or something that happened last night, I heard, but I didn't watch that. And and it was just an all-around good weekend. Got stuff done. I hope you did too. So let's keep going here. Let's rise above the noise. We've got a packed show today. Getting up and getting after it. We've got our Who in the World. We're going to do a Wait That Happened today. Yep, Jess, you guessed it already. That's absolutely what we're talking about. And good morning to you too, Mother. Good morning. No, good morning, Mom. Good to see you out there. Absolutely. Stick around here. We're getting up and getting after it on a Monday morning on Kindness Rising and Mornings in the Lab. And let's keep rocking and rolling. All right. So, of course, I'm always thinking. I do a lot of thinking. We're thinking about this one lately when we talk about kindness. A lot about grace and kindness, patience, giving people the benefit of the doubt. And I believe in all that. I really do. But here's something that gets lost in those thoughts. Kindness without accountability isn't, because it's actually just tolerance. And tolerance without boundaries ends up breaking things. Because here's the deal. When systems work, when communities work, and families and organizations and relationships work, it's usually because there's unspoken or spoken agreements underneath just about everything. How we treat each other. There are rules that apply to everyone. Nobody gets a permanent pass. And when that agreement gets violated, especially repeatedly, that's when trust erodes. And once trust erodes, you can't patch it up with a memo. And that's what happened 800 years ago. In that meadow in England, a group of people finally said, we've tolerated enough. And that moment, that messy, imperfect, politically complicated moment, became one of the foundational ideas of democracy. The idea that nobody, not even a king, is above the law. And honestly, that feels incredibly relevant today, not just in politics, but in workplaces, communities, relationships. Kindness without accountability creates cultures where bad behavior gets excused indefinitely. Ooh, I like that line. I'm going to say it again. Kindness without accountability creates cultures where bad behavior gets excused indefinitely. But real kindness, sometimes it looks like a line and drawing your line. Drawing that line. That line. We hold everybody to the same standard, including you, especially you. That is today's Kindness Spark. All right. Thanks, everybody. Get involved in the chat. Keep saying hello. We're going to jump into our clue. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? Do you have a clue? Do I have a clue? That might be the question. No, for real, though, I appreciate everyone that's coming out here. Let's get into our clue. I've already given a little hint. If you were here early, you heard the hint. I give little clues, but here's the first formal clue. I grew up in LA in the 80s. And I turned my experience into one of the most controversial albums in music history. LA 80s controversial album in music history. That's our first clue for today. All right. Who in the world could that be? I don't know. All right. I actually do know. I know. And I'm going to give you 2 more clues throughout the show to guess it. But first, we're going to do the official. Jess already guessed it. We're talking about the signing of the Magna Carta. That happened today. And we are moving along. A meadow called Runnymede. I love that name. Runnymede, Runnymede. All right. On the banks of the River Thames, just outside London, absolutely standing there that day, King John of England and 40 very determined, very fed up barons, and they were like, here's what you need to understand. This is what we need from you, or there's going to be a war. But also remember that King John is the guy you know from Robin Hood. Yeah, the one who taxed everybody into oblivion while Richard the Lionheart was away on his crusade. History was not kind to him either. He lost his position in France. He quarreled with the Pope. He taxed the nobility so aggressively that they finally snapped it in the spring of 1215. They didn't just complain. They organized. They marched on London and took control of the city and backed John into a corner. King John into a corner, basically said, sign this document or there's going to be a war. And so he signed it. And here's the twist. He had no intention. King John had no intention of following through with that. Within 3 months, he was appealing to the Pope to have the whole thing declared null and void. And so basically, in the short term, that Magna Carta, it failed completely as a peace treaty. Civil war broke out anyway. Yep. And sometimes that idea was born in a moment, but that moment, it was born in the moment that, it was born for a moment that was bigger than the moment it was born in. 63 clauses written in Latin, just about feudal rights and noble privileges. I don't know, but it contained one key idea, and that's clause 39. No free man shall be arrested or imprisoned except by the lawful judgment of his peers or by the law of the land. No one is above the law. The king had to follow the rules also, and that idea eventually made it into basically one of the foundations of the democratic legal system. Absolutely. The U.S. Constitution, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, all these things. 800 years of ripple effect from one very uncomfortable afternoon in a meadow. Absolutely. Yep. And so, yeah, that was what happened. Even the lesson there, of course, is you hold the line, right? Even when it's uncomfortable, even when other person has more power than you, even when it doesn't work out perfectly in the short term, that line still matters. Draw the line, have your boundaries. Absolutely. All right. I'm really alert this morning. I'm glad you're alert this morning. Good morning, Jess. Minnesota checking in. Yeah. Mike, don't forget to check on your neighbors. I appreciate you. We don't really talk big politics here, but I agree with don't forget to check on your neighbors. We've got a couple guesses in here early on. People are checking it out. Jess has got a guess. Mike has got a guess. All right, we're going to keep going. I'm going to give you your second clue in just a minute here, but first, because we always do here on Kindness Rising, stick around for your who's who in the world. But I want to highlight an organization. An organization that's doing good work for good people out there in the world and aligned with our theme. And that's today. Here is your Kindness Spotlight. Wait for the drop. This Kindness Spotlight goes out to an organization that is helping people with accountability and the rule of law. Is it out there? Yes, it looks like it's out there. All right, we're talking about the Innocence Project. I am talking about the Innocence Project. Although I can't. All right, well. Okay, let's have fun. The music's up a little loud, too. The Innocence Project. All right, I think you guys might know where I'm going with this. We can't skip the part where the system itself sometimes gets it wrong when we're talking about accountability and the rule of law. And so the Innocence Project, it works to overturn wrongful convictions using DNA evidence, legal advocacy, and the criminal justice reform. The numbers are so sobering. Hundreds of people have been exonerated. Some spent decades in prison for crimes they didn't commit. So think about what that means. Birthdays missed, families changed, entire chapters gone. They're not anti-law, though. They're pro-accountability. They basically say the same thing the Magna Carta said 800 years ago. The system has to hold itself to a standard. Nobody, including the system, gets a permanent pass. That's powerful work. If you want to learn more of and support their mission, of course, you can go to innocenceproject.org. All right. Add to their spotlight. Good morning and have a good day, Mike. Yep, if you're still in there, still here, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Stick around for the clues. We are getting after it. All right, here is our second clue. Here's our second clue for today. No, here's our first clue first. Remember, our friend grew up in the 80s and turned his experience, I said he, I already knew that, into one of the most controversial albums in music history. Second clue. Founding members of one of the most influential rap groups of all time. Even the FBI took notice. Even the FBI took notice today. Or not today, but where are we today? Maybe this was an easy one for people. I don't know. Okay. I forgot my coffee. I'm looking for my coffee. What'd you do with my coffee? Did I steal it? Okay. I can still do this without coffee. You know that, right? Absolutely. Absolutely. Thanks for joining here on Kindness Rising. This morning, we're getting up and getting after it. Today's topic is above the law. No one is above the law. Absolutely. The Magna Carta was signed 800 whatever number of years ago. Constitutional law basis, democratic ideas, all written there. So that's what we were talking about. We're doing clues. Where did our way? I'm scrolling. Oh, yes. Okay. So those of my friends who are here on a regular basis know that one of my personal passions and interests and inspirations, heavy influences, is Grateful Dead, and particularly the lyrics of Robert Hunter. I've never said this here before, but some people love the Dead for the culture, for the freedom, for the movement. I love that part. Some people love it for the improvisational, unbelievable talents of the musicians. Some people love the spirit of the community. Why do we connect? Why do we connect with it? I have always connected on the lyrics. I've always been a word person. And when I first heard Hunter's lyrics, these nuggets of truths about the world put into story form, certainly I was inspired. And I've dug deep and deep and deep. I'm doing my math in my head right now. 30 plus years, easy 30 plus years, 35 years. of thinking about studying, being influenced and inspired by the Grateful Dead. And so I'm going to start this. I'm going to do this. And I hope I don't turn people off. I know some of our friends in there also enjoy the Dead, but I hope that I can take my passion and make it important to you, inspirational to you. It is inspirational to me. It helps me. And I'm starting to build some stuff around it. I've been putting out videos every day. If you're out there on YouTube, check out my shorts. I'm going to do one every day. Lyric of the day and thoughts around the Grateful Dead. And I'm working on some other things related to that as my passion, because it's what I know about. And I think it's important. So anyway, so I'm starting a new segment, guys. That's the point. I'm starting a new segment, and it's going to be called simply, Are You Kind? That's it. This is Kindness Rising, and that is the point of why we are here. Are you kind? And that's today's Grateful Dead wisdom. And here we go. We'll give it a shot and see what people think. Love the feedback. Today's theme, let's try it again. And here's today's Grateful Dead wisdom. I've been spinning a lot about the Grateful Dead lately, and today's theme, accountability. Nobody's above the rules. Kept pulling me back to one song from the Grateful Dead catalog, Estimated Profit. Estimated Profit. And if you know it hits different. It hits different when it's live. It goes into this hypnotic groove and kind of lulls you in before you realize what the song is really actually about and what it is about. A guy who is absolutely convinced he is special, convinced the rules don't apply to him, convinced he has a higher calling that exempts him from ordinary accountability. Does that sound familiar? That's every person who's been in a position of power and decided the agreement everybody else lives by somehow doesn't apply to them. And here's what the Dead understood that makes this song genius. They didn't write the character as a villain. They actually wrote him as believable, because that's the uncomfortable truth. Most people who dodge accountability aren't twirling their mustache in the air. They genuinely believe their own story. And that's what makes it so insidious. It's not just pride. It's self-delusion dressed up as conviction. And I think we've all been there. And I've noticed it about myself. I'd invite you to sit with this too. When things aren't going your way, when the game isn't playing out the way you expected, there's this very human temptation to change the rules, to try to fit our situation, to reframe the scoreboard so we're still winning, to tell ourselves a story where our behavior is justified and everyone else just doesn't understand. But we can't actually change the rules. We can only choose how we show up within them. And it starts with one thing, self-awareness. So today's Are You Kind question isn't just, where are you playing the estimated profit? It's deeper. It's asking yourself, where in my life is my thinking clouded by pride or self-interest? Where am I telling myself a story that conveniently lets me off the hook? Where am I the one moving my goalpost? That's the work, not easy work, but the most important kind. That's today's Are You Kind segment. Thank you. All right. Hope it worked out. We'll see. And as we're building live, I always talked about what I'm doing, right? I'm trying to do more where I take what I did live right here and turn it into some additional creation to push it out to the world, because that's why we're here on Mornings in the Lab, to show our expertise, to show our authority, to help the world get up with a little bit of hope, humanity at heart, more high fives for humans, all that stuff. So welcome in. Absolutely. I'm glad you're here. Come here every weekday morning, 7:30 a.m. Eastern. Absolutely. I just realized something that I failed to do. I just see you're here, Kathleen, and I missed your entry, and I apologize. I am glad you're here, Kathleen. I've been watching your work on YouTube. I see how you're trying new things and changing and growing. Absolutely. I appreciate your candor and your willingness to share your real thoughts, who you are, and that you're going to find your people. You're going to find your people here. You found us here, but you're going to find even more people out there on YouTube, and they're going to find you. So keep going, keep creating, have that courage to do it. And yeah, that's awesome. I love watching people's journey. All right. Speaking of journey, don't stop believing. I don't know. What did I do? I'm not sure. No. Okay. Where are we? We're here on Kindness Rising this morning on Mornings in the Lab Network, getting another week started. 7:30 a.m. Eastern, Kindness Rising, 8 a.m. Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends here on a Monday. It's going to be another great week in the lab. Don't forget to join us. Watch all of our shows. Support the shows. Check us out all over on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on Facebook. We are out there. The Mornings in the Lab Authority Network. All right, let's get to it. Last clue. I think we are headed in the direction. Jerry Ginger jumping in. You ready for the clues, Jer? I don't know. I think we might already be right around it. I grew up in LA in the 80s, turned my experience into a controversial album. Founding member of one of the most influential rap groups of all time. Even the FBI took notice. And lastly, but not leastly, I'll do the reveal in a minute, but my real name is O'Shea, and I've had a long career in music and film. Is it Friday yet? All right. Absolutely. Those are our clues. Welcome in. I think maybe someone, if you look in back in the chat, the name might be floating around out there. Someone who knows their stuff might have guessed it right on the first clue today. But I'll do my compass, and then we will get on to the official reveal of our Who in the World today. All right, here's today's kindness compass. Find 5 ways to bring accountability and fairness into your daily life. Say the thing out loud. Accountability only works when expectations are actually stated. Don't assume people know the rules. Name them. Write them down. Make the agreement explicit. Hold yourself to the same standard first before you hold anyone else accountable. Ask yourself, am I following the rules that I'm actually enforcing? Because consistency is what gives accountability its credibility. Separate the person from the behavior. Accountability doesn't mean attacking someone's character. It means just addressing the specific behavior. What you did wasn't okay. What you said is very different from you're a bad person. One is actionable. The other one just creates defensiveness. Remember, don't wait until you're furious, too. Oh boy, those barons really waited a long time before they showed up to King John. But it's kinder, including everyone, including yourself, if you address things earlier. And then lastly, document. If you didn't document it, it didn't happen. The Magna Carta worked eventually and has inspired and influenced democratic, political, cultural institutions because it was written down. Verbal agreements will fade, expectations blur, and things get confusing. But if you write it down, a team norm, a relationship boundary, or a work agreement, then accountability becomes much easier. I guess that's what it comes down to. Because accountability isn't the opposite of kindness. Actually, it might actually be one of the highest forms of kindness. Accountability to ourselves and accountability to others. That is today's kindness compass. All right. Jess, I give you credit. You must know who your Yep. Mike Sullivan, we are talking about Ice Cube. Recognize this guy, Kathy? You say you don't know who that is. You might recognize the face from things. It's Ice Cube. He was born O'Shea Jackson, June 15th, 1969 in South Central Los Angeles, a founding member of NWA, actually, not Two Live Crew, right? The group that released Straight Outta Compton in 1988 and made the FBI so nervous they actually wrote a letter to their record label. Think about that. A government agency tasked with fighting crime felt threatened enough by some rappers with a message that they put it in Straight Outta Kindness. I like it. Honestly, the most accidentally self-defeating things a powerful institution can do. Because the Magna Carta moment how did I write that? I don't know. Anyway, let's move on. Ice Cube and NWA were doing exactly what the Barons did in 1215, right? Talking truth to power. They looked at the system that was treating people unjustly. Instead of staying silent, they put it in writing. They named what was happening. They dared somebody to push back and said that nobody's above accountability, not a king, a system, an institution, or one voice. Willing to say that out loud, one voice, willingness to say that out loud can change the whole conversation. Happy birthday to Ice Cube, straight out of Runnymede, straight out of Kindness, straight out of what? You do know him, Kathleen. Of course you do. You recognize the face. Cube's journey, of course, is what's happening? I'm removing myself instead of him. Okay, we'll just keep Ice Cube out there. I was pretty wanted Ice Cube, but got Vanilla Ice. Yeah. Well, O'Shea Jackson, right? NWA, early, obviously gangster rap, that kind of thing. Coming out of the Rodney King. Anyway, let's what was I going to say? Oh, what's interesting about O'Shea Jackson to me is as we grow and mature and change, so does our world, right? I mean, from AKs and drive-bys to pretty fly for a white guy I am, Jerry, of course. To what was dude, where's my van or something? I don't remember. Friday is great. Friday is an amazing movie. You got knocked the fuck out. Anyway, yeah, I mean, he went from Friday and all that. Now he does a lot of his roles are like, I'm the dad, the dad role. It's pretty funny to me. It's not funny. I mean, it's actually life. Watching that story is pretty interesting. All right. Anyway, we got through our accountability day. We talked about the Magna Carta. We talked about the Innocence Project. Rocked out with a new Grateful Dead estimated profit. Are You Kind segment. I'll keep working on it. I don't know. It's a thing. That's what we're doing. We're building. And got your compass in there, the whole thing. That's it. I can't believe it. Our Monday is done and down. Absolutely. Now get on over to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and Friends. Definitely. But before we do that, let's land this thing. Apparently that's my new line. Let's land this thing. I don't love it. 811 years ago, a document was signed in a meadow that changed the course of human history, not because it worked perfectly, not because King John kept his word, but because the idea inside it was bigger than the moment. Nobody's above the rules. That idea built democracy. It inspired constitutions and freed people from wrongful imprisonment. It still shows up today in every workplace, community, and relationship where someone has the courage to say, we hold everyone to the same standard here. That's not conflict. That's kindness with a backbone. And that's what Kindness Rising is all about. Thank you for joining me again today. I'm Matt Roof. Come find me here on YouTube, 7:30 a.m. Eastern on Kindness Rising on the Mornings in the Lab Network. Thanks for being here this morning. Don't forget, as you get out there today, stay kind, stay accountable, and stay uncommon. And go make something good happen today. Thanks for joining me. See you tomorrow. Have a great day.